Ladies and gents, you've heard it before, the mission statement. It is very important for you to be able to grow your agency further. I would say it's not so important in the early stages of your agency, but look, if you're wanting to scale up to 7 figures and then go to 8 figures and then go to 9 figures, it's really important. If you're happy, making $100, $200, $300, $400,000 a year with your agency and having a small team and pocketing all the cash, this isn't really a video for you. But if you want to build something big, let's get into the mission statement. So there's two things that we're going to talk about. One, the importance of the mission statement, what the benefits are to you actually having one that is clearly defined and will be beneficial for you. Number two, what is an example of a good mission statement? I'll actually share with you our mission statement in our agency as well as another company that is a $1 billion company that I'll use as a good example. So before we get into those two things, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. My name is Taylor Benchard. I have an agency called Better AMS. We are on pace to do about $1.8 million in revenue this year, and we've been running for almost maybe 6 years, 5 years. It's been 5 to 6 years. So I have a lot of agency experience. This whole channel has nearly 300 videos on scaling an agency. Let's dive into it. Okay, number one, the importance of a mission statement. So first of all, this is your 30,000 foot view of, what it is that you're doing in your agency. So this is your agency here. This thing is what's really going to allow you to just zoom out to the highest viewpoint possible and remember what is the most important things that you're trying to work on. What are the battles that you're trying to win? Now let's get into an example of mission statement, because I can't even actually really define to you the importance of it without giving you an example. Amazon, one of the most successful companies in the world, they had a mission statement that was along the lines of what I'm about to show you. It's changed over time, and this is still very much what they focus on, but they have so many other types of businesses outside of Amazon.com that it's a mess. But anyways, for a long time, they focused on 3 things. Number one, fastest shipping. Okay, look at this terrible writing. Fastest shipping. Number 2, cheapest prices. So we're just gonna say shipping, price, and number 3, selection. So these are the things that they worked on. And if they won these 3 things, they believed, like if they were the company in the world that if they had the fastest shipping, they had the cheapest prices, and they had the widest selection, they believed that they would be the most customer-centric company on planet Earth, and that they'd be one of the most successful companies on planet Earth if they were to achieve that. They've achieved it. They are by far one of the most successful companies. So many people shop on Amazon. I buy tons of stuff on Amazon. But how did this really help them? Well, think about it. They're only doing 3 things. They're offering the fastest shipping, they're offering the cheapest prices, and they're offering the widest selection. So this gives the team at Amazon very good clarity around what needs to be done to make this boat go faster, right? And so they're optimizing around these 3 things. And if they can win this battle, and they can win this battle, and they can win this battle, they will achieve the vision. Now, we're not going to talk about vision in this video per se, but the vision is like the utopian view of where you want to be in the world that you would like to see. And the mission is how you're going to achieve that, okay? So how can you build one for your agency that gives you the level of clarity that Amazon has in their mission statement? Well, let me share with you our mission statement in our agency, and maybe this will help you determine what yours could be in your agency. So in ours, we have 3 things as well. We have number 1, results. Number 2 is efficiency. And number 3 is experience. So what we're striving to do is give our clients the best results and with the best experience while operating in a way that has the utmost efficiency. I'm botching the words. We have it written in a sentence, but it's very clear on what we need to be focusing on. We need to be focusing on how we can help our clients get the greatest results. Now, we're an advertising agency, and although there's many different goals that our clients have, by far one of the most important goals that they have is they want to grow their brand. And so as an agency, we are working on number 1, doing our best to provide the greatest amount of results out of all the other agencies out there on earth, if you would like to say. This is a difficult thing to achieve because we're only right now offering one service. And there's a billion different services that we could offer, but we need to figure out, one, who are we trying to help, right? That's the big question. And then once we define who we're trying to help, what services could we put together that could be of the greatest amount of value to that client, which ties into the results. Number two is the efficiency. So we want to operate with the utmost efficiency because, one, as an agency, it's very people intensive, this type of business. And so we need a lot of really good systems in place to be able to maintain solid margins so that as we scale, we can still scale. We don't run out of cash. And number two, so we don't waste people's time doing things that could be automated that by a software, or could be delegated offshore, or could be done much faster if we had a checklist or system or process in place to be able to execute on whatever the specific task or thing is that needs to be done. So efficiency is a very important thing. And experience is providing the best experience for, one, not only the clients, but also two, for the team internally at Better AMS. So what does the best experience look like? A really good onboarding, a really good offboarding, a really good cadence of communication. These are all things that go into the experience. Meeting up with clients, how we talk to them in our emails, how we talk to them on the phone, our tonality on the phone. I mean, there's a million different variables that goes into the experience. Excuse me. But what do you do about the measurement? How do you actually measure this? Because if you look at Amazon's is so beautiful. Fastest shipping. What's the metric for measuring fastest shipping? It's so clear. It's just like, how long did it take for the package from the moment the person clicked buy? How long did it take for that package to reach their doorstep, right? And they're measuring that. And then they're looking at all the other companies in the world and they're saying, who's the fastest? So how can they measure it for other companies? You simply go to your competitor's website, you click buy, and you start the timer. So that's an easy one to measure. Price, cheapest price. Again, very easy to measure. There's bots and softwares that you can create to do price matching or price comparison so that Amazon can always compare the products that are being sold on their website relative to all the other websites on the web and see who has the cheapest price. And so Amazon will have a really good KPI around, okay, do we have the cheapest price for diapers? Do we have the cheapest price for headphones? Do we have the cheapest price for this and that? And you can imagine, it goes on, but it's very easy to measure, okay? And number three is selection. Well, how do you measure selection? Again, really easy. You just look at other websites. What are they offering? What are we offering? Oh, we're offering a billion times more things. Is there anybody else that's offering more things than we are? No? Okay, great. We have the widest selection. So very easy to measure these things. It's a little bit more difficult with our mission statement. And again, this is the kind of 1.0 that we've created, but we've stuck with it because we do feel like it is great. Results, efficiency, experience. So results, how do you measure results? Well, you would have to do your best to measure, number one, where the client's brand or whatever it is. Like for us, we work with brands, right? So where was their brand before they started working with us, and where is it 3 months after, 6 months after, 9 months after, 12 months after, because we need to be able to measure the growth of the brand. But what also ties into that was, did what we do actually have an impact on the brand, right? Efficiency is the second thing. Now, this one's also pretty difficult to measure, but I would almost like to just say profit margins of the agency could be one metric, but again, difficult to look at because maybe you want to push your margins down to zero or even potentially go negative to be able to scale up. So not as easy to measure. And experience, you can use like net promoter scores to measure the happiness of your clients. You could also use internal anonymous surveys to measure the happiness of your team members. There's a lot of softwares and ways to measure experience, which is pretty straightforward. Results and efficiency, this is where it's a little bit gray. It's not exactly as clear as price, selection, and shipping speed, but this is our V1 and that we created actually like 2-3 years ago, and we've stuck with it ever since. We haven't necessarily made any tweaks to it, but can you see how this is helpful to you, right? If you're ever wondering, man, what in the world am I doing? How do I scale this agency? You got to zoom out and think, okay, Well, these are the 3 things that we're focusing on. Now, again, remember in the beginning of this video, I told you, this is not for everybody. If you're wanting to run an agency and just do, $250,000, $500,000 a year and pocket, a nice chunk of change for yourself and cash out, this doesn't matter. You're not trying to build a big team. You're not trying to build a big company. You're not thinking big enough to the point where this even matters. Okay, but if you want to really get to a point where you want to build a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure agency, 10-figure agency, 11-figure agency, well, fantastic. You're really going to have to get clear on this extremely macro level view as to what your agency is trying to accomplish. What battles are you trying to win, right? I like to call this the fronts, right? So like, what fronts are we fighting? And front is kind of like the lines in battles, right? So this is how I like to look at it. And this is, in my opinion, the importance of a mission statement and a couple good examples that should be able to give you some clarity around why it's so important. Okay, without further ado, ladies and gents, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so. That is the #1 thing you can do to support the channel. Again, there's almost, if not more than 300 videos on this channel dedicated to helping you scale your agency. And last but not least, please swing me a comment. I respond to all comments. If you have an idea for a video in the future, swing it in the comments. I may just make a video and shout you out. And without further ado, if you haven't already signed up to the Agency Enlightened newsletter, if you're like already an avid subscriber and you're watching all these videos and you want to figure out how you can get access to more knowledge that is unique to YouTube, you can go to agencyenlightened.com, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and there is a opt-in for a newsletter. And the newsletter is where I'll announce certain things before even on YouTube, and you'll get a lot more information about how to scale your agency. So thanks, ladies and gents, for watching this. I hope to see you in the next video. Much love. Ciao. Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to watch another one that's extremely valuable, I just selected it for you, and you can check it out by clicking it right there on the other side of the screen across from my face. All right, friend, enjoy. Thanks for watching the channel.